Hey guys, Vazzy back here, and today it is time for episode 6 of our Calgary Flames franchise mode here in NHL 24, and in today's video we are going to be simulating the second half of the 2024-25 NHL season. Currently we sit at 19-19-3. We have been playing pretty good of late, had a very slow start to the season, so we're going to have to see how the team is simulating to see if we're going to be going all out at the trade deadline or just kind of standing pat. The big question was around Matt Coronado. He has not been playing very good so far this year, only 9 points in 41 games. He is a guy that can go down, and I actually do have a trade that I was looking to make. I did a little bit of pre-scouting, and it's a move I think that will help us out in the second half when it comes to simulation, and then we can send Coronado down and help his growth. So the trade is going to be a second round pick, a third round pick from this year. I know I said we didn't have a first in the last video. That's totally my bad. We actually do. Kevin Rooney will also be part of this trade just for salary cap, and we will be going to the Arizona Coyotes. It's not going to be Nick Schmaltz. He is a very good player. Again, I think he definitely could fit on this team. But it's actually going to be Nick Bjugstad. 85 overall. He has 17 points, 38 games. Last year he had 55 points. Had a very, very good season last year. Thing I like about Bjugstad, he has, let me get over here, 25 takeaways to 14 giveaways. So that's a pretty good ratio for him. So he's an expiring UFA. I like this deal. Arizona is definitely more of a seller team. So I think overall this trade makes sense. Get Bjugstad on the first line. I don't know. Maybe it'll help us. Arizona does accept this trade in game. So now let us go and edit up the lines here. Go to the right wing. We will just send down Coronado right now. Should be playing better. At an 83 overall now. He's been growing very well. He just hasn't been playing very well. So we'll get him down there in the AHL, see what he can do. And then we'll probably just put Nick Bjugstad on that top line, I think. He's a guy that power forward, two-way forward, playmaker combo might not be too bad on the top line. We'll get him there just on the power play as well. Not the end of the world. And then the AHL, let's get Honzek to the top line. And then we'll get Coronado as the top line right winger in the AHL. Get him some very good minutes down there with Stromgren and Honzek. And then, yeah, I think for the most part, we are ready to get back to the simulation and see if this trade does end up working out for us here. So with that being said, let's get up to the Philadelphia Flyers game, as Dustin Wolf is back. Hey, that is awesome to see as well. So that's another thing when it comes to goaltending. Oscar Donsk has played very, very well in a limited sample size, where Forsberg has just been garbage. So we're going to keep Donsk as the backup for now. I'm going to just put Wolf in as the backup. We'll bring him back after this next game, I think. But yeah, let's get into the Philly game. We'll jump into this one here. See if Bjugstad can score in his first game as a Flame. First period, 5-0. There we go. Sloviak, Perry, Peltier, Brandstrom, and Uyghur. Huge first period. Second, Coleman gets one, Cates gets one for them. And in the third, Atkinson and Perry. 7-2 win. That is huge. Very, very good game there for your Calgary Flames, as we do go above NHL 500 there. So let's get Dustin Wolf back in the net. We'll give him a good run of starts here. Let's see how Bjugstad did. First game, -1, no points. Not the end of the world. See how he does over the course of a bit of simulation here. So let's just get back to the calendar sim, the menu sim here. Beat the Washington Capitals, going up against the Nashville Predators. That is a 2-1 loss. Not scoring a ton of goals, not letting in a ton of goals as well. So good and bad there. Get Donsk back in for the back-to-back here against the Colorado Avalanche. That is a 5-4 shootout loss. We'll get Dustin Wolf back in there, give him a good amount of starts here. One thing I will say that is very positive, Wolf seems to be a very good simulation goalie, so I don't know how that'll be, but I definitely want to ride him into the future here, as he actually might be a goalie that we can trust here, which is very, very rare in franchise mode. So going up against the Dallas Stars here, that is a huge 4-1 win. Tampa fires their coach. Going up against the very good Toronto Maple Leafs, that is a 3-1 win, so there's back-to-back wins for us. Going on now to the Buffalo Sabres in Buffalo. Cirelli is being offered to us in a trade. It's a pretty big trade. We're not going to take it, but just take a quick look at Cirelli and everything here. In game, he is 84 still, so kind of capped out at that third line center role, making a lot of money for that. So move on. That is a 5-4 win in Buffalo. I believe that's 3 straight wins. It's true, and it's offered to us. And against the Boston Bruins, it's a 5-3 loss. So we are actually playing some pretty good hockey here. I don't mind that at all. And who knows, maybe if we keep this up, we could be a playoff team. I don't want to say anything right now, but Bukestad, 7 points in 8 games. I really, really like that trade for us now. Coronado in the AHL has 10 points in 8 games, so I think it's a good move. Sending him down, he can dominate, and then having Bukestad up there on the top line, he's playing very well. So early on, I know it's very early still, but it was a good trade, I think, for us. Looking at some of these extensions, Bukestad, it's not horrible. Don't want to offer to him right now, though. For Zari, he's been playing better of late. Do we give him the extension? 29 points, negative 11, that's not great, but he is putting up more points for us. Let's maybe do a bridge deal, like a 2-year 4.25. I think you'd probably accept something like that. It's still an RFA, obviously. We can lock him up down the road. Brandstrom, I wouldn't mind getting signed on. Maybe 2 years, 2.5. He's been very, very good for us so far this year. Other than that, I don't think there's any skaters we really need to be worried about. Goaltending-wise, obviously not Forsberg. Donsk, yeah, League Min. Give him a 2-year deal at League Min. That's not bad, even if he is just in the AHL. I don't mind that move at all. But let's keep simulating against the Senators. That is another loss, 3-2. Brandstrom says yes. Donsk says yes. 2 of our 3 contract offers. And there is Zari, the third one. They all say yes. So a couple of early extensions sent out to our players, and they are all saying yes. Good to see. Get the goalies switched out here again. Get Wolf back in the crease as we are going up against the Florida Panthers. See if we can beat them. That is a huge one there. So we sit 25, 22, and 5. So we definitely have pulled this record around from where we started this year. I'll say that. Like early on last episode, I thought for sure we were going to be a bottom team. So to see us actually picking up some wins here, picking up some points, it is very good to see. As I say that, we do drop 2 in a row to New York and Buffalo. Going up against the horrible Kings. Second round pick from Winnipeg. No, I don't need that. It's a 4-1 win, and against the Seattle Kraken here, Islanders fire their head coach. There's another 4-1 win. Sitting 28, 23, and 6 against the Avalanche. It's a shootout win. And against the St. Louis Blues, it's a 4-1 loss. Have the New York trip here against the Islanders and Rangers. 5-3 loss against the Islanders. See if we can win against the Rangers here in the second half of the back-to-back. Get the goalie switched out. Scratches were all good there. Defensively, Solovyov, Kuznetsov, just no room for Shillington right now, unfortunately. Those 2 guys are just playing too good right now. And really, there's no room really in the top 4, so I guess he's just going to have to sit for now, unfortunately. Take a look at the team lead in points here as we're closing in on the trade deadline. So we sit at 60 games, Kadri leading the way, Huberdeau, Peltier, Zari not too far behind. Honestly, we're looking pretty good for the most part. Bukestad with us, 14 and 19 again. That's very solid. Other than that, nothing here is too concerning to me. Defensively, Uyghur, Anderson, you definitely want to see the plus minuses come up a bit, but it's not horrible. In the net, yeah, goalies are putting up good numbers other than Forsberg. If we end up missing the playoffs, he honestly might be the reason that he kind of sunk us early on there. AHL-wise, nothing too crazy there. Coronado 21 and 21. That's actually very, very good. Point a game down there. Again, I don't know If he's going to be translating to an NHL player here, we'll have to see. Against the New York Rangers, that is a 3-2 loss. That's 3 straight losses for us, unfortunately. All in regulation, I believe, too, so a little concerning. We'll get Wolf back in the net. Switch up the AHL goalies. I saw Pietro was getting a decent amount of starts down there. On the road here against the Philadelphia Flyers. Definitely need a win here. It's another loss, 5-3. Svechnikov down there, so 4 straight losses heading into the trade deadline here in just under a week. Against the Montreal Canadiens, we do lose Sharon Govich. That's really our first big injury of the year other than Dustin Wolf. Maybe we call up Coronado. Yeah, we don't really have anyone in the NHL, sorry, forward-wise. Maybe give Coronado one more shot. Again, probably the best player we got down there that we can bring up, so we will bring up Matt Coronado. Not sure if he'll be a second line or third line player for us. I'm thinking probably more third. I don't know, maybe we keep the kid line together, give him one more shot. So get Coronado there with Zari and Peltier, all young players. Then we'll just fix up the AHL here quick, get Ken Stenlin back in there, who was sent down from the NHL team. Other than that, Kuzmenko is -7. Wouldn't maybe mind moving him out at the deadline. We'll see. Expiring UFA. It's another loss to the Canadiens. That's 5 straight losses headed into the NHL trade deadline. It's not good. Again, who is our biggest minus right now on the team? If I sort by that. So Peltier +12. Anderson, Zari, Uyghur, Kuzmenko. It's tough. There's no one that's playing like super horrible where we have to move out like -30 or something, so I don't know. We'll have to kind of see what's available at the deadline as Coronado goes down, so just replace the player for now, I guess. We might need to actually go for a top 6, top 9 winger right now, actually. I still want to make a push for the playoffs. Might not be the smartest move. Look at the top players here available. Nature's Saros. Some good players there. No one really there in the top 10 that really stands out. I'm going to see if I can find a winger for cheap. And yeah, we'll see if we can maybe make a trade. I will cut back to you guys here if I find something. So we might actually have a deal here to make at the deadline. What I'm looking at is Mike Hoffman on the Sharks. He is 86 overall in game. He grew a lot, getting a lot of ice time on San Jose. Putting up 51.64 games, 70 points last year. Pending UFA making 5.6. Sharks are a bad team. They're not going nowhere. Definitely want to give up Forsberg, just get him off the roster. And then add a 4th rounder. Like, it seems a little bit cheap. We might have to add more. Let's see, yeah, trade rejected. But Hoffman really doesn't have a ton of value in game. I don't know, maybe it's just the age and the contract. Try 3rd. Still saying no. Is there anyone we can really add prospect-wise, or let's see, is there anyone unsigned who's not great? Yeah, we could throw in McMorrow, but might be a little too much value. Honestly, let's throw on a 7th. Throw on a Flame 7th. Does that get it done? It does. Look at that. So Mike Hoffman, 86 overall, is joining the team. I think that's going to be the only trade here we make at the deadline. Don't want to go too far in here as buyers. Let me go fix up the lines, and then I will come back to you guys again here shortly. So getting back to the edit line screen, didn't really make any too big changes. Hoffman just ended up sliding in where Coronado was injured, so could move him and Bjugstad around, but don't really want the 2 playmakers in Huberdeau and Hoffman to be playing together, at least at the moment, so it's a change we can make down the road if needed. Going up against the very good Avalanche, 6-5 shootout loss after the deadline. Against the Vancouver Canucks, that's a 4-1 win. So we really need to go and have a pretty decent little win streak here post-deadline if we want to have any chance to make the playoffs. Again, that's why I didn't really go full in against the Seattle Kraken. Sorry, we do win 5-2. But yeah, we definitely didn't want to trade the 1st with the position we're in. I'm fine with giving up like a 3rd and a 7th. It's not the end of the world. But anything more than that, I didn't really feel comfortable with. It's back-to-back loss to the Wild. That really hurts. Would have been nice to at least get one of those 2 as wins. Let's get Dustin Wolf back in the net. How does Hoffman done? 3 points in 5 games, you know, it's not bad. Sharangovich is back, so we'll swap him back. Let's get Kuzmenko at minus 13, yikes. Put him on the 4th line for now, he's not coming back. Switch out Pospisil and Hoffman so he can keep his 2nd line role. And then on the power play, let's just maybe throw Hoffman on the 2nd man power play. Switch out Coleman. I think that makes more sense. Hoffman is the more offensive player out of the two, at least you can argue. So he is now on the 2nd line power play against the Chicago Blackhawks. Huge 4-2 win against at least the 1-point NHL leading Vegas Golden Knights. It's another huge 4-3 win. There you go. Going against the very, very good Edmonton Oilers here. Haven't beat them all season, I don't think. Jump into this one here. See if we can finally end up getting a win. 2-0 after one. Draisaitl and Henrique. 2nd period, Evan Bouchard. And 4th period, Carcone. They shut us out once again. Oilers have played us so good this year, and it's really hurt us, that's for sure. Alright, come on guys, we need to start getting some wins here. Against the Pittsburgh Penguins. Huge win in overtime, 3-2. Let's switch out the goalies, get Wolf a little bit of a break here. Get Oscar Donsk back in. Numbers have definitely come back to earth, but they're not bad. Still better than what Forsberg was giving us. Bukestad, 23 points, 32 games. He's been very solid on that top line. And Hoffman, 5-9 again. It's good enough. That's not too bad at all. So let's keep it going against Columbus Blue Jackets. That is a huge 3-0 shutout. Keep everything the same here going into the game against the Canadiens. And that's a 5-4 shootout loss, so still get the point. Don't hate it. We will swap out the goalies here again once again. Get Wolf back in the net. Yeah, scratch players. Coronado still hurt. And other than that, we don't really have any other lineup changes to make. Against the very good Toronto Maple Leafs, sitting at 47-18-7. Cole Schwint in the AHL. That's a huge shootout win against the Leafs, as we have been picking up some huge wins here down the stretch. Take a quick look at the standings, see where everyone is at as we're closing in at the end of the season. So we're 1 point back at the Kraken there. And in the Central Division, 83 points, 81. So we're a couple back of Minnesota Nationals right there. So everyone is still very much in this race here for the playoffs, but we need to keep winning games. Against the New Jersey Devils, huge 5-0 shutout. Back-to-back games against the not great Sharks. 4-1 loss, that hurts a lot. Some time off in between. Need to win this game. This is a must-win. A 4-2 loss, back-to-back games losses against the Sharks. That's really going to hurt us. So it's not looking great for our odds. We just have to keep going against Winnipeg. It's another loss. That might have just sealed our season right there, unfortunately. Kraken 3-2 win. Looks like we might have a chance. I'm not sure how the tiebreaker would work, but the Ducks have to lose both their games. It's not great. Yeah, they still have 2 games to play. Hasn't been clinched yet though, so jump into this game against the Wild Sea. Can happen the last game of the year. 2-1 after one. Sharangovich, Huberdeau, Kaprizov for them. They got 2 in the second. Johansson, Eriksson, Ek. The third, that is gonna eliminate us right there. I'm not sure if the Ducks have won their final games or not. It actually does look like they did, so wouldn't have mattered either way. But yeah, we fought and we were in it till the end, just couldn't get it done close to the end of the year. Like I said earlier, maybe Forsberg cost us early in the year. We should have moved him out earlier. But forward-wise, Huberdeau, Kadri leading the way. Hoffman had 9 and 18. It's okay. I don't think we bring him back. Peltier, Zari at 50, minus 15 though. Bukestad finished with 28 and 41. Very, very solid. Maybe we bring him back. We'll have to see. Kuzmenko's probably out of here after this year. Other than that, not too much to really talk about. Defensively, Weegar leading the way. Anderson, Brandstrom. Defensively was pretty good, and goaltending-wise was very solid. Wolf putting up very, very solid numbers. Like I said, he might be a goalie we can actually trust. And in the AHL, nothing too crazy here. Very low scoring. Wow. That actually seems very low scoring. Weird. Not sure what's going on down there. But yeah, that's going to more or less do it for this season, unfortunately. So next episode will end up being a draft and free agency episode rather than a playoff episode, of course. Again, I don't think we're too far off here. Take a look at the draft class again here quickly. We probably won't be in the top 10. I doubt we win the lottery, you never know. But if we can even maybe trade up to get a top 10 pick, I think there's at least 10 medium elites with all the created players. Even this Kulshov guy. I know he's another defenseman with Dickinson, but could be a medium elite, probably a pretty good chance. There's definitely some players we can look to pick up here when it comes to the NHL draft. But I do think that is going to do it here for episode 6 of our Flames franchise mode here. A lot of big off-season changes are on the way, but I will save that all for the next video.